So first of all, we want to look at browsers, and browsers are the programs on your laptop that will connect you to the internet. And the first one we want to look at, and the one that we're going to be concentrating on, is Google Chrome. Now, if you don't have Google Chrome already, then you can fire up the built-in browser with Windows 10, which is Microsoft Edge, and into the search box you can type Google Chrome download, and that will then allow you to download and put the product onto your system. So let's have a look at Google Chrome and some of the features that it's got. So here is Google Chrome. If we start up the top left hand corner, then this little house shaped thingy is the home page. Mine is set at the moment to google.co.uk, but you can set it to any particular website that you like. And the website that you're looking at is this one, which is in here. So if anyone says go to www.bbc.co.uk, you can type it into there, and then that will take you through to the BBC. This circular one is like a refresh button, and that will then just reload the page, and sometimes you will need to do that because it will get stuck on the page that you were originally looking at. So let's have a look at some of the other features in Google, and you can see there's quite a lot going on here. This bar along here is called the bookmarks bar, and so you can actually save your websites that you've been looking at as favorites, and they go into this section. Now here we've got some which are just straightforward websites, which is like GoDaddy, where you can book your domain names if you want to do that, and then some of them are folders. So this one with Alibaba on it has got a whole series of website links within it, and in fact there are folders within folders and folders within folders. So you can make this quite a complicated thing, and the ones that I'm showing here are the ones that I've collected over umpteen years, and they just follow me around. So wherever I log in to Google, then I get all this stuff comes back to me, and I don't have to rebuild it every time. But where we want to have a look are these three dots up in the top right, and this is where you can actually look at the things that you can do with Chrome. So if we click on that, then one of the things that you can do is set for a new tab. So one of the useful things to do on this course is to actually have more than one browser window open. So you can run the course on one browser window, and then you can actually practice on the other browser window. So a new tab will give you another new browser window, which is so always at your home page, but it's a one that you can actually play on. So the original one is here, and then the new one is there, and you can set that to wherever you like. So if we want to go to, let's say we're going to go to BBC on that tab, then so that's where it goes to. Then the other one remains the same. If I want another tab, another way is to just to click on this particular button here, which is a new tab, so I can have two windows open, 3 windows open, 4 windows open, and so on. So all of these, and then any of these you can close down. So it's quite a convenient way of having more than one window open, which is, if you're doing something complicated, you may want that. What you can also do is go for new window, and that's two completely separate versions of Google. And if you have a look at the taskbar at the bottom, you can see I've got, these are the little icons for Google, and whichever one you click on is the one that becomes your live window. And we don't particularly want more than one open, so I'll shut that one down, and we'll stick with the one that we've got. So this one is running 2 tabs at the moment. So we go back to the 3 dots. One of the things that you can open is an incognito window. And an incognito window is one that ignores all of your settings. So if you've got some cached, what they call cache credentials, which is a login, a password, or settings that you've got for a particular website which is not behaving itself and it won't update, one of the things you can try is to go for an incognito window, and an incognito window doesn't get added into your history. It doesn't tell anybody who is logged in. It avoids all of the credentials that you've got, and is a useful thing to do if you don't want to be recognized on the website that you've gone to, or you don't want to use the credentials that you've already got built into Chrome. So we can come out of that, but an incognito window is very useful if you're having trouble connecting to a site that requires you to log in. Next one on the list is history, and history is all the things that you've been looking to in order to connect to any website that you've got. This is just a list of things that I've been researching on behalf of this particular course, and history is in there, and it does build up, and sometimes you may want to go and find something that you'd lost. Downloads is a list of all those products that you've been downloading, and that goes into a folder called Downloads folder. Now we'll be looking at that in more detail in another module later in this course, but this is where Google, if you've used Google to download something, then this is where you'll find it. The next one to have a look at is bookmarks. So bookmarks will go into the bookmark bar, which is the one at the top that we talked about. So if I go to, let's go back to the home page on this particular one, and if I'm looking for, let's say we'll do a search for cricket, and then it will tell me where the websites are that I might want to find results on cricket. So if it's, let's say, Sky Sports and the cricket page on there, and I want to keep that as a regular thing, then I will go to bookmarks and put it in a folder called links. And if I go to links, there is the connection that we've just set for this particular website. So you can do that with any website that you go to if you want to keep it and go back to it at some point in the future. So we'll go back to the home page and have another further look at the contents of the settings. So that's bookmarks. If you want to change your bookmarks at any point, then you can go to Bookmark Manager, and Bookmark Manager will allow you then to move folders around. So if I don't want links to be where I've set it in this particular screen, then I can just move it down, and then it changes its position on the bookmark bar. So the next one in the list is zoom, and zoom allows you just to change the scale of the website that you're particularly looking at. So the zoom setting has got a plus and a minus setting. A plus will make it bigger and a minus will make it smaller, so you can set it to whatever you like. We'll leave it at 100%, and that will do for now. So the next one is to print, and if we look for a page which has got some information on it, let's have a look at the Daily Telegraph website, and if there is something in here that I want to print off because it is of value, then I can select the particular article on this website, and then if I go to print, then this will connect to my printer, which is a Hewlett-Packard and it gives me the settings that I might need. So this is offering me 2 sheets of paper to print off this particular article. If I only want one, then I can select that through here. I can set more than one copy. I can change the layout from portrait to landscape. I can either have color or just black and white, and I can make it two-sided, and these are all features of the particular printer that I'm using at the minute. So that's a print option within Google Chrome, and I'll cancel out of that and go back to the home page. Then after print there is an entry called cast. Now cast needs a bit of hardware that is provided by Google, and that's a way of actually delivering videos that are on your system into a connected TV set. So that's a Wi-Fi connection, a Bluetooth connection across to the other side of a room, so you can actually play a video that's on your laptop or on YouTube across to your television set. Next one down the list is find. Now find will say what is it that you want to find on this particular page that you're looking at. So if I have another look at, let's say we'll go to the BBC News page, and if I want to look for, let's say, President Trump, and then it's telling me that there are this is number 1 out of 8 different instances of the word Trump on this particular web page. So I can then scroll down and it will tell me all of the instances that there are for the word Trump on that particular web page. So we'll go back to the home page again. More Tools allows you to save the page. So it will go save page as, there's not much on this one, but then it will take you to Windows Explorer and will allow you then to put the particular web page, and you'll see that it's got an HTML extension, which means that you'll need a web browser to open that. We'll have a quick talk about HTML later on, but you can then save that page to whichever location you select. Under More Tools again, you can create a shortcut to that page, and that will put it onto your desktop. The next one is interesting, clear browsing data. Now this is a favourite cop-out of help desks. If you can't get to a website, the favourite comment from a help desk will be, oh, go and clear your browsing data. Well, that may not be in your particular interests. It may be true, but it's unlikely. You're far better off to use an incognito window, such as we looked at earlier in this particular module. Extensions I'll hop over for the moment. Task Manager will let you know which of the particular programs that you've got running are using how much memory, how much CPU, that's the processor in your computer, whether it's using the network or not, and you can then end processes. There is the similar feature within Windows itself, which is probably more reliable than relying on Google Chrome, but the option is there if you choose to use it. And then there is Developer Tools, which is for people who want to use JavaScript and similar programming languages, which will work on a web page, so we can hop over that one. Next one down the list is Edit. Now the edit instructions, you got cut, copy and paste. So cut means that you're going to move something to somewhere else. Copy means create a second version of it, and then paste is put it where you select. So we'll have a look at that a bit later on, and but those features are in here. If just to give you a quick look at this, if I go back to the BBC News page, and we have some text on here that we might want to save, if I can surf around the pictures or even save a picture. President Trump, then if I right click on the picture of President Trump, then I can then save it, copy it, and so on. It's not helping me particularly with cut and paste, but let's say that there was an article in here that you wanted to save, and so you would highlight it and then be able to move it to another location. Settings is the final one that we want to look at. This is me logged in. Sync is synchronizing with everything that I connect to. But the one that I particularly want to show you is the home page. So we can either show the home button or not. So the little house has disappeared. Switch it back on again, and the little house reappears. And if I want to change the home page, then I can go to, let's say, BBC News, highlight that, right click, copy, go back to settings and paste it into this particular location, and that will then become the home page. So I don't particularly want that because I want to stick with Google, and so I'll copy the Google settings and put them back into the settings for the browser. Help will tell you about Google Chrome. You can go to settings, it will tell you which version it is, automatic updates will be applied, and then we have exit. So just to look back at module 1, we've covered Google Chrome and looked at a lot of features of that. There are more things that we'll come onto later in this course about Google Chrome. The browser that you've got built in used to be Microsoft Internet Explorer, which they've now replaced with Microsoft Edge, which has its own features, but at least it allows you to get to the download page for Google Chrome and set up Google Chrome, which is the one that we're going to be using. There are other browsers. There's Firefox, for example, and there's also Safari, which you may be familiar with, which is used on smartphones, iPhones, iPads, and so on. And finally, there is what's called the Hypertext Transport Protocol, or HTTP, or it may be HTTPS. And you can see this on the front end of your web link. And the difference between the two is that HTTPS is the secure version of that. And if you look on the address bar at the top of your browser, then you may see HTTP and Google Chrome will report that as being not secure, or you may see HTTPS, which means that it is secure. And what makes it secure? Well, it means that the people running the website have applied what are called certificates to that particular website, and these are private and public certificate pairs, which is an encryption method which makes it secure. So that's the end of module 1.